Welcome back, tribe. I am so happy you joined me back here for another interview. Today, I have the honor of interviewing my sister, who is amazing. She's an amazing mom, an amazing sister, an amazing friend. I truly appreciate her love, support, the relationship that we have because far too often it is hard to reconnect with family once you have been separated so long. And when you do reconnect, there can be a long process of healing because a lot of the times you end up hurting each other. And some people say, hell with it, hell with you, that sort of thing. But we fought hard. We fought hard to heal, move forward, and be there for each other in the way that we can. We appreciate that. And so I don't take this lightly. It might get a little real. You might see some tears, but I just want to give my sister a platform to share her story. I'm nervous as hell. I don't know why, but I am like really, really nervous.
Yeah,
Um,
it's a nervous thing. I ain't
so
gonna
you
say nothing crazy.
No, I don't know. It's just like when I start an interview, I don't know why I get nervous. I did this a lot of times through coaching and I still get nervous. My nerves is like my stomach. Hey everybody, welcome back to Casting with Purpose. I am your host, Marie, and I am so happy that you joined me back for another interview. I have the pleasure of introducing to you all my beautiful sister, a mother. Throughout our lives, were um we were raised in the same house part of our lives, and then we got separated through the system. So she's here to give her side and to give what she experienced in foster care and throughout her life. I want you guys and I ask you guys to listen with an open heart. And please, let's not be an expert of the life that we did not live. So I ask respectfully that you do not leave disrespectful comments or anything mean down below. Let's get started. Hey, sis.
Hey,
How you feeling?
I'm alright.
You good?
Yeah, I'm good.
This guy, shake it, shake it, shake it, shake it, shake it
Uh,
out. So, like I was explaining to you, this is just a genuine conversation, heartfelt conversation, whatever is on your heart to share. My goal on this platform is to help other people who may need it. Someone who is in the system or coming out the system, someone who might want to reconnect with their family, a mother who has children and is dealing with life right now. So that's where we're going to go with this conversation. So
yeah,
just let it be what it's going to be.
yeah.
So, what I would like to first ask, so that the tribe can understand a little bit about you, is how would you describe your childhood?
Mm, just difficult. Uh, a whole bunch of crazy. I believe.
Mm-hmm.
You know, my childhood. I don't remember a lot of it. I do,
Okay.
you know, um, remember the system a lot. Um,
Mm-hmm.
so it's very difficult to describe because I don't remember a lot from my childhood. You have people that they can remember, picnics and parties and
Mm-hmm.
they remember, Halloweens and Christmas and stuff. I don't. I don't remember those things. I started remembering a lot as I maybe like 10, 11 years old when I was, in like group homes and stuff and just experiencing stuff within through there and the foster care and stuff.
Okay.
Um, but not too much. So I don't really know how to describe how my childhood is. I can't say it was good. I can't say it was bad.
Mm-hmm. And I understand. I have memories. My favorite memory, let me just say my favorite memory.
Yeah.
My favorite memory with you and our other sisters, was we couldn't go outside when we were younger with mommy. We were not
Yeah.
allowed to go outside at certain times of the day. So to keep y'all quiet, because she loved her sleep sometimes, to keep y'all quiet, I would like grab crackers and jelly and some cheese, and we would lay the blanket out in our room and sit there and, have a little picnic. That's how I kept y'all quiet with food, because I love to eat. So, but that was my favorite memory. Another memory, like we always used to share with y'all, y'all used to run out the house and we used to have to chase y'all. It was 3 against 1. So that was another memory we had. But yes, you are, a lot of things are a blur. But so when you remember your experience in foster care, going back to your like first memory, what is something that stuck out to you?
Um, I do remember vividly when we were taken.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so I remember, the worker, well, at the time, just some lady, standing over me, waking me up from wherever I was sleeping. I believe it was a couch or some
Mm-hmm.
form of it downstairs, and telling me, to wake up, that we had to go.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember running up the steps, and I was told was that I probably ran to you and was crying about it. And I remember our hair is getting fixed up and by either mom or grandmom. And I remember us, me, Maria, and Ramona being taken and put into the police car. And then
Mm-hmm.
from there, I remember, uh, I don't know if it was the first foster home, but, being in a foster home with one of my other sisters for a while. And, the beginning stages of being taken is terrifying,
Yeah.
with, just not having your family around or whoever you were around,
Mm-hmm.
who you were used to. So it was day in and day out of crying and crying and crying and crying and couldn't wrap my head around what was going on and didn't want to be where I was. You know, from there, being moved around, from what I was told, I was moved around 16, 17 foster homes and maybe about 5 to 6 group homes. Um,
If you don't mind saying your age or how around age right now.
I'm 34 now.
So you're 34. When did you enter the system? Do you remember?
I can't remember the exact age. It was I
You
I
was
don't
a
know,
little girl. I know that.
maybe 7 or 8.
Okay. So, and you said about 16 times you were moved around.
Yes,
When do you remember when you left the system?
at 16 is when I left the system.
So I wanted to ask that because I want to paint a picture for people, that are for the tribe and other people who are listening in, that you moved around 16 times as a child,
Yes.
and that is crazy. There's no stability in that.
No, it's no stability. It wasn't any at all. I didn't sit to get to know someone for a long period of times. I believe that all of my placements were a month, 2 months, no more than 3 months.
Mm,
At first, in the beginning, excuse me, was because I just couldn't adjust to the situation, and a lot of the families that I was in, they couldn't handle my behavior.
mm,
Um, so I was just moved around, and the system and all cut out what is made to be. A lot of the times, they don't have families, or they're picky on who they want or who they're willing to take care of. So a lot of my life was like in the DHS office.
mm.
Always at the office, always with my worker. And one day she pulled out this map in front of me and all these like red little dots everywhere and was saying like these are all the places that you've been. That to me was like, why are you telling me this? Do I care? No, I just want to get back to my family.
What does that, because I know what it did for me. I know how I felt, but I want to know from you, like, what was your feeling to realize that you were in 16 homes or plus as a child? How do you feel?
It was definitely not something that I asked for.
Yes.
Definitely something that I would have never thought I would have to experience.
Mm.
Um, so for me, that's just like, why me all the time? That was the question. Why me? Why am I here? Why am I in this situation? Why for a while was, why did I deserve this, and why do I have to go through this? I couldn't wrap my head around it. Why am I not back home yet? Why am I here with these different people? I don't know that, it feels like they don't care about me. The love wasn't the same from what I was feeling at one point from mom. And so it was very hurtful that I was in a situation I couldn't do anything to get out of it.
Yeah.
I couldn't leave. I couldn't, go back if I wanted to. I felt like I was incarcerated,
Oof. Yeah.
uh, without doing anything wrong.
That's a
So
lot.
that's what it is. Um, but because I have been in the situation where I have made my mistakes and my children, I have no problem saying, were taken from me. Um, I get it. I understand that, life is difficult, and
Mm.
a lot of people, they try their best to do what they can do, and everyone makes mistakes.
Yeah.
Um, and for the longest time, I did have hatred in my heart. Not understanding, why isn't my mom coming to get me? Like, where is everyone at?
Ooh.
I have I have so much built up anger. I just wasn't understanding it. No one's telling me, um, you know, this is why.
Yeah.
Um, and not just because of my mom, my dad as well. I remember the time where he came to a visit and he said to me, I can't see y'all anymore. I can't take y'all anymore. And the reason behind that was because his wife had passed away. And to me, in my mind, as a child, I'm thinking, well, who cares? I mean, we loved her, we cared about her, but what does that have to do with you, being our father and coming to take us and coming to see us and coming, you know, getting us out of here? Now, I don't know what the system was like back then, you know, um, but I do know that I had two parents, and if it wasn't going to work with one, it had to work with the other, and it didn't. And when he said that, that was the absolute last time that I've seen him. But through the system, I had this DCF worker, and he said I was in actually I got put into a hospital,
Mm-hmm.
and he called my father and said, "You know what? I'm not supposed to do this, but I will call your father right now, and I will ask if he can take you, and I will drop you off to him, and that will just be the end of it." And I mean, I had to move around so many times before this point because they just didn't know what to do with me. And he said to him, I have your daughter here, and I wanted to know, do you want her? And my father said no. He said, no, I cannot take her. I don't know. I don't know how to take care of her. I mean, I think for me, that shut me down completely. Like all the hopes and dreams that I thought that I was going to get back home and that I was going to get out of this crazy situations that I've been put in, um, through molestation, through abuse, through physical, mental, all types of different abuse through the system. It just didn't happen. He said no. I didn't care to understand what his reasoning was. Once again, I shut down completely. In my mind, it was over. Now it's time for me to turn up. And I'm just going to do whatever I want to do, however I want to do it. I don't care what. the consequences are going to be. And it was crazy. I mean, I did things, started drinking early, having, you know, inappropriate interactions with, you know, older men and things like that because I didn't care about myself. I started using drugs. I didn't care about if I lived today or tomorrow at one point. And I don't believe that anyone, as far as in the system, ever gave me that hope that, you're going to be okay, other than one person. I was 12 years old and I had a foster mom that she's still in my life till this day. So it's been about a good 20 years. Even though she couldn't take care of me because of my behavior, because it was terrible. She continued to see me in group homes, continued to take me on weekend visits. Till this day, she's there. If I need her, advice or financial or visiting me and the kids, anything that I need, she's there. So she became my mom.
Mm.
So the system had its good, really bad things, and the positive light of it came to where at 16 decided I'm going. You know, I did reconnect with the family before I turned 16. I did have a sister of mine who was visiting me from time to time at one foster home, maybe in a group home, and writing me and stuff. But I felt false hope with that.
Mm.
That that was only that was hurting me more than it was helping me because if in foster care when you see a family member or something like that and you have to leave or they have to leave,
Yeah.
it affects you really bad.
Yeah.
And I was I was affected by every time they left, and I wanted to go and I couldn't. So my behavior became worse, after that. So they had to stop. They had to stop letting people know where I was. The letters were addressed to me as, I'm going to take you out. I'm going to, you know, take you out of this situation. But it never happened. So yet again, I was just being let down over and over and over again. And, although it was nice to have, you know, some part of my family see me
Mm.
from time to time, it was driving insane to know that I wasn't going to be able to go. Um, my two sisters, my two sisters from father's side, I got separated from them over time in the system, but I did live in foster homes with them at one point or the other. They felt as though we couldn't be together, so they split us up.
Mm.
And I reconnected one of my, it was me, and then, Maria's under me. So I met her when I was 15, 16. No, when I was 13 or 14 around there. And we seen each other in the DCF building where she was going to come to my foster home, but we were sitting right across from each other, and we didn't even know that we were siblings. That's how long it has been that we weren't together. Like she was sitting right across the room, I was sitting over here next to my foster mom, and my worker, she's looking at me. She's like, "You don't know who that is?" And I said, "No." She's like, "That's your sister Maria." And I said, "What?" And we jumped up and hugged each other and we started crying and everything. Just, I mean, I couldn't believe that I didn't recognize her. I didn't know who she was. And, we lived together for a while. First, it was great, all like honeymoon phase, whatever. Then it got back to like, girl, please.
Yeah.
Like we have you have that honeymoon phase when it first starts, but then it's like, we're family. This is
Yeah.
what it is. We're gonna argue, we're gonna fight. And
Yeah.
you know. So yeah, I left at 16. I ran away. I ended up going to which I don't recommend for anyone, by the way, because when you run away, you don't have family, you don't have help, and you don't have the money you need. that, and you're just stuck. So I was for a while, a little while before I just called the phone number of my father's side. The
Hold on, Anna, you breaking up. Can you hear me?
Yeah,
Okay, I can hear you now. You're just breaking up there for a little bit.
yeah. So I ended up getting on the train, getting to her, and eventually, like, if you want her, you want to take care of her, to have her, and they closed the case from
Wow.
there. Yeah, it wasn't any like they were at one point allowing me to have a job and helping the girls learn about responsibility type of thing. But when I left, I had nothing. I had no mind of how to pay rent, how to work, how to save money. I didn't get a chance to do school the right way. It was kind of just I felt like a mess.
So leaving foster care, did you choose to leave or they released you
No,
from
I
foster?
I chose to leave. They were going to try to keep me until I was 18, and then try to. I don't know what they were going to do after that, and I didn't even care. I don't think I ever cared to even know. I just felt like they're just moving me around at this point, one place
Mm-hmm.
after another, one place after another. It's like it's not going to get better. At that point, I knew if I want to get back to what I know or what I used to know.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna say used to know because the
Yes.
picture in my mind that I had coming back was from so long ago, from what I could remember, and not that much. So I just thought I'm gonna go back, and this one's gonna be like this, and this is gonna be like that, and I had this thing where it's like everything's gonna be great. I'm gonna go back home to my mom, I'm gonna see my father. Things are gonna just be super great, and so what I thought. Well, that's what I was getting to.
Uh-huh.
What did it say? A picture perfect type of dream or a memory that I created in my mind because I didn't know much. So, over the times, you just start creating these things in your head. Like,
Yeah.
it's all roses and dandelions, and that's what I was pushing to go to. So I left. I said, I want to get to to the good of my life. I want to go back home. I want to see my family, and I couldn't take it anymore. I had to find a way
And
out.
And when you left, because the reason why I asked that is not to blame you at all. I want our viewers and people to understand if we have caseworkers and parents watching this, I want them to understand how difficult it is for a child once they come out of foster care. Because one thing that it reminds me of is like when people get released out of jail and they're put back into society, and how do they live? How do they deal? And leaving foster care, whether you choose to be released on your own merit, or you run away, or they release you, or you age out. I feel, is my personal opinion, that a lot of children are not ready. They're not prepared. So I want to know, is that how you feel, or how do you feel when people are leaving the system?
That's exactly my experience. I wasn't ready at all. I don't think anyone is ready. Because when you're in the system, you're being fed. Like this is like incarceration in a way. When you're living with other people, there's schedule. Breakfast under dinner. You're being fed. You're being clothed. You're not doing anything for yourself. Someone there is making sure that you have everything you want and you need. Um, there's no sense of you know independence at all, at all.
Yeah.
And even school. A lot of my group homes, some were public school, but some were in their own little building type of thing. So leaving out or aging out or even getting away, you're not ever going to be prepared for what it is out there in the world because you haven't been in there. I mean, in group homes, you can't go out to the store by yourself. You can't go to cross the street. You have limits. You have a barrier on where it's like jail. You go out to the yard. That's where you are. You can't go beyond the tree. you know? So coming out of that situation, it's like a toddler learning how to walk.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's difficult.
And once you left the system, at what age did you start having children? At what age did you become a mother?
I became a mom at I became a mom at 18 is when I had my first child.
Hmm. Okay.
And that was more so because I wasn't getting the support that I thought I was going to get. Remember that pretty picture that I painted in my head? It wasn't true.
Yeah.
So I came to hit reality on
Mhm.
what this part of my family is, and what's going on. And, you know, everything that came about with it, I wasn't ready, nor was I prepared for any of that.
Yes.
I, I took it upon myself all the time, like it was my fault. When I know now that it never was, but I always felt like, okay, I was already getting high, I was already drinking, I was already doing these things. Now I'm here, and this is the dynamic. So I'm falling in wherever I fit in.
Mm.
That's what it is. You're not your own person when you have lived this type of lifestyle. When you come out, now you're just following other people. You know,
Mm.
let me move how she moves, because mind you, this is a toddler learning how to walk. So
Yes.
I'm learning this life by walking in someone else's shoes, doing what someone else is doing, because I feel like I'm having to do something to just fit in, to just make it to the next day.
Mm.
And I've met my son's father at 17, a lot older than me. Um, so that I have the support that I need. You know, telling me, well,
It's breaking up, Anna.
don't be with that person,
There you go.
or go this way. You know what I'm saying? Would I have listened though? I don't think I would, because I've been so many years not listening, not caring what people have to say, doing my thing my own way. But he ended up helping me with a place to live, and we had a good relationship at first. And yeah, so I had my first son at 18.
Okay. And so, being a mother now, through all that you've been through, you said you lost your children, you got them back, and that's like, I commend you for that, because not a lot
Yeah,
of people work towards getting their kids back. Not a lot of people fight for the relationship, or they allow the system to take their kids and that's it.
right.
So I am proud of you for the person that you are today.
Thank
um what is something that you strive to keep your kids from going through?
you. You know, having them taken from me was devastating both times. Being an addict, um, that I know that I am, is to try to ease the pain. I didn't have, um, I wasn't healing
Yeah.
correct at all. I was, like I said, I was just turning up, partying. I was doing, I took very well care of my children, by the way, but I had an issue. I
Mhm.
wasn't taking care of myself. I felt as though that I wasn't able to heal from the pain, heal from everything that has happened. Um, that I use, drugs or drinking as a form of medication,
Yes.
to kind of avoid anything going on in my life that was painful. So I felt like, fighting to get them back, not once but twice, did me good, because my children, what they've been through, was horrific. And I will for always be sorry to them about it. But I strive to have them, you know, my oldest son shows independence at 16, but I strive for them to have their own voice.
Mhm.
That's the biggest thing for me, because I've never had in the system. I wasn't able to ever just voice my opinion or even feel like someone's listening to me. And so the biggest thing for them is just for them to just be who they want to be. and just have their own voice of opinion. Um, to follow the right direction that they want to go to, that I just laid out for them. I think that's just the biggest thing, and to be loving and caring individuals. Because the funny thing is, throughout this whole thing, I think I still have a good heart. I've always been the type of person to help people and care about people, and even coming out of the system, I've been caring about other people and what they need,
Yeah.
and how they feel. So I didn't shut that part off of me. You know, and I really want them to be the same way. Beyond
Mm-hmm.
the limit, not having anyone run over or take advantage, but just to be loving and kind.
Yeah. That's awesome. And you are. I truly
Yeah.
appreciate I truly appreciate the fact that although we have been through a lot,
Yeah.
we all messed up. We all fall short. We have our shortcomings and we do things that are reckless and maybe we don't think in the moment or we do it's intentional. Who knows? But we have our faults. And through all of that, what I admire is the fact that we're fighting to move forward and the fact that you have a big heart. You do.
Yeah.
You love and you care and you want family there and you want to because I won't say what it was, but when I heard you fighting for a relationship and just explaining it and standing up for that person, I admired that because
Right.
I want that person in my corner that if I'm not there, they know my character. They're gonna fight for me.
Right.
They're gonna be like, "Yo, I'm not with that one," type of thing. I think we
Right.
all want that. We all want that respect, loyalty, love type of relationship. And when I heard that from you, I said, that's when I realized that the change is real.
Right.
And that for you, because I like being transparent, I like being honest, and I don't like playing games anymore. So for you, I said that I want that relationship with you in my life, like with my children, with your children. I want to get better. I know that I moved across the world, but I want to keep that relationship because it means a lot.
Yeah.
You can't find that, especially when we have a big crazy family
Oh,
and things
absolutely.
and things happen, so I just want to
Yeah.
give you your flowers now because I think that we wait until a funeral to go and bring flowers and say how great the person was.
Right.
I want to say it publicly that I appreciate, no matter what we've been through, the willingness and acceptance of me and my children, just building the relationship, the connection. So I truly appreciate that. I commend you as a mom too. Like I
Oh my
seriously do.
gosh. Thank you.
We
I know
we
we have.
It's
We have.
hard.
That if anybody thinks that being away and separated from your family for years, and you come back and everything, is gonna be jolly dandy, and
That was my
no,
thought.
it was mine too for a long time, and then I had to realize, look, this is what it is for
Yeah.
the moment. Everyone's young too. I believe, when you're young and stuff like that, you get into the wrong crowd, you follow in the wrong, footsteps or whatever, and accountability ain't really being taken,
Yes.
and when you get older and as you mature, you start to hold yourself accountable for things that has happened, that has been said, that has been done or whatever. And honestly, the biggest thing is that everyone is was strangers.
Yeah.
Can I feel like I need to know? Would you agree with me with that? Because
Yep.
I feel like if did I know your favorite color? Did I know what you like to eat? Did I? No, we were all strangers. I think that getting to know each other,
Hmm.
for what it was, did you accept me for what I was?
Yeah.
I probably would say heck no.
Yeah.
I wasn't perfect. I had things. I came from hurt,
Yeah.
and I didn't want to bring it that way, but I think I came that way.
Yeah.
I think I came like, you know, it's all you people, and where were
Hmm.
y'all? Like,
Yeah.
so many,
We can't we can't clap it.
yeah, and it's so many up and down, but really it came from a place of hurt that I couldn't get off of me, And nor I don't think where I was I ready. But you know, I almost felt like, dang, it's like everyone, it's like nothing ever happened for y'all. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? But that wasn't the truth. I had to understand that, you know, everyone had went through their things. Everyone went through foster care or one thing or another, and things that I didn't know when I was in the system. I didn't know what happened. I didn't know, you know, what you guys went through or whatever. So yeah, just the holding the accountability part of, you know, what I did wrong and how I did it or how I handled it. You know, I can with all my heart say I apologize,
Yes.
and would love to keep healing and moving forward.
Yeah.
You know, Antonio comes and says, you know, my nephew on the phone, one of your boys was on there saying, you know, tell Didi hi and I love her. I said, this is awesome, and
Yes.
it feels good because, you know, at one point it was shut off. You know, so
Yeah.
much was going on around us, but just to hear that my niece and nephew, like, they love me, you know what I mean? And I love them too. And you know, it's so hard to, you know, try to give all that I can, especially when I'm trying to get myself together.
Yeah.
But I mean, to the end of this earth from here on now, it would be nothing but healing from here.
Yeah, that my kids, they're upset with me because I didn't let them say goodbye. So we are taking a trip back to your city,
Oh,
so
yay.
that they can say bye, hi, I love you, and all that, because they are upset. But
Yeah.
they do truly love y'all, and I love to see it. I ask them all the time, like, do you stay in contact? Do you talk to your cousins? Da, da, da,
Yeah.
da. I want them to have that connection because that was my point to what you just said. To a child that's coming out of foster care and parents or family members that may be receiving these children, your family members back, I want you to realize that it may not be what you thought it was or what you remember it was. So
Right.
going back to your family may not feel the same. One, because you left them and you have that trauma of whatever you went through and being in the system. And then if you were moved from 16 homes or placement, like, and for myself, it was a lot of homes and placements, you pick up a little bit of everybody. You pick up the trauma, the bad, the good, the positives. For me, I say I became a chameleon because I try to blend in so I wouldn't stick out. I didn't want to get beat, so I became a people's pleaser.
Right.
That sort of thing, because I didn't want to get in trouble. I didn't like the feeling. So going to your family may not feel the same. And
Yeah.
one thing that I recommend you guys, tribe, if you're listening and this is you, I know it's uncomfortable, and I have a sheet that I do with my clients, teaching them how to have conversations with themselves that they would normally have with somebody else. So you practice with yourself having this conversation with the person, and then when you become or you reconnect or whatever the case may be, you're going to have to have uncomfortable conversations
Right.
because healing needs to take place. And it doesn't have to happen in one day. But if you do not move past the hurt and pains and questions, confusions, or anything else, that is going to linger. And I don't know if you agree, but I think our way of dealing with it was to party.
All
And
right.
we had a lot of Puerto Ricans can drink.
Yeah. We can throw
We can't do nothing else. We can drink, and a lot of
right.
family members can cook. So it's just
Right.
like when you go into a gambling, a casino, they turn it's dark, like out, there's no windows, and they
Right.
feed you oxygen, right? You don't
Right.
know what time it is. You having fun, and
Right.
you went broke. That's
Yes.
the same thing I feel like with our family. We know how to party, we know how to drink, we know how to cook, we know how to have fun, we know how to laugh, but we don't know how to heal.
Yeah.
And it was when it became uncomfortable, I know for me, I used to clap back or I used to,
Oh,
hold
yeah.
on now. No. And it was like nobody's hearing nobody.
Right.
And so it's uncomfortable. So we move past it like it never happened. No apologies, no nothing. We disregard somebody's feelings. We don't take responsibility. And that's the worst part. So for the tribe that's listening, understand that you just might need some healing and you might have to have some uncomfortable conversations
Absolutely.
that need to happen in order to move forward.
You're right.
So I'm glad you touched on that because that's how it's feeling. I wanted to bring that up for the viewers because a lot of people don't understand that you're not prepared when you leave foster. It's like, even if you are prepared, it's like a surgeon who needs
Right.
to be in the field performing it, or a cop who needs to be out in the streets doing it in order for them to see a real life situation that they know now how to react to.
Yeah, and I think that if they are someone that's been in the system for a while, and that person does come out, and she or he, goes into reuniting with the family, I think from my point of view, for the family to just be more, more um understanding of what that person went through the system, maybe asking questions, not right,
Yes.
but like trying to understand
Mhm.
what that child went through, and just the background of it. You know what I'm saying? Just being more sensitive, I think,
Yes. Hmm.
to the situation. I think when I came out, everything hit hard.
Yes.
Everything was hard. Everything, conversations that, like, if I was here all these years, or the talks or the fights or the arguments, like if I was here all these years, um, I think, not to grab a child and mix that child into situations that they weren't there for. Kind
Yeah.
of, just start a new chapter with that person, that individual, um, and move on like that. I think
Yes.
that's
I agree.
a better way of saying it. But healing is the most important part of this, and I think that
Yeah.
I should have got myself into some therapy, into some type of treatment and stuff coming out of the situation. And it would have helped me a lot to understand what was going on.
Yeah. Did they offer therapy while you were in there? Because I know for me, they forced me to do therapy and I didn't like it because I didn't trust them.
Oh, oh yeah, they did. But did I give a crap? No. I'm like all I want to do is get home. If you're not telling
Yeah.
me that you about to take me home to my
For
mother, my
real.
father, whatever, I don't care to hear
I
nothing.
will hear nothing.
That's all kids, because my kids, when they were in the system, honey, they have phones, tablets, and everything. I call them morning and night. I have really good foster, families though, that kind of, was really good with meeting me. I was able to get my kids' hairs done, shopping, bringing them food. They were on the phone with me all day. Hey mom, this happened after school, whatever. And like, if we never separated, so it was
Yes.
good. But, they just was like, I'm just ready to come home. Like, I don't care what this person and that person's telling me. I'm just ready to come. So yeah, they did offer therapy and stuff, but was it effective on me? No, not at all.
I agree.
I was being served medication and stuff like that, but it wasn't no effect. I didn't care to hear. I think a lot of times some kids can adapt, and it might help them. For a lot, for myself, I will say it did not. I
Yeah.
was stuck in my ways. I was, get me out of here, get me out of here, get me out of here.
Yes, I agree.
Far
I
away.
agree. What is something that either you would say to the people in your lives that were in foster care, or what is something that you would change about the system, or both? Something you would say to them, or something you would change?
Um, you know, all the time I've said to my kids, be strong. I'm right here for you. I'm always going to be here for you. You know, and I don't know what I would really say to someone, because it's so difficult being in this, so hard. Um,
What would you say to the adults? Their job is to protect us. Their job is to give us a home, clothe us, provide safety, keep us. Basically, I feel like the system was created with great intentions, but it wasn't implemented right because they were supposed to give us and do what our family wasn't able to do. And so what would you say to the adults that played a part in
so
growing up?
I have been in foster homes that were not so great, and I think that when the workers came around to ask questions about how everything was going and stuff, I think a lot of the times they just seen that they go like word to mouth kind of thing. So they assumed that everything okay when it wasn't. So um, I think when you are a DHS worker, I feel like you have to really be in it and really care about these kids. Like you have to really want to know that they're safe and that they're taken care of, and you know, um, listen, because a lot of the time I was talking to my DHS worker back then, and I wasn't being listened to. I was sitting in the closet. I was, being touched. I was being abused. I was, you know, um, one of my foster moms tried to stab me. Like it's scary out there. It's like you're living with people that they might pass whatever classes and whatever they have to go to, but who they are internally, it ain't gonna show until it's behind closed doors. I can, and that's what's scary about it, because that can go on for the rest of your life. Like you think you know someone, but you really don't. And so for the workers, I know that they have so many different kids that have to be taken and have to be placed. And it was built on good intentions, but I think the dynamic of just having to go one by one, you know, it's not all going to be perfect, but I just think that they should just really make sure, that they have the families for number one. Because when my children were taken, my son was in and out of the DHS office for a whole week and being placed in like 5-6 different foster homes in 1 week because they didn't have places or whatever. And which was crazy to me, because here I am like, hello, I have a 3-bedroom house. His room is right here. I know that I have to work on myself, but as far as me being a parent to them, I'll never lack that. And he should not have to move around like that when he has a home. And so I think they they don't have the families that they're supposed to have for all these children that might be taken from their families. And so they skip over some things. They're quick with the visits, very quick with the conversation. Okay, bye, see you next week.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think it's actually, they are supposed to treat us, like family. They're supposed to do something that our family couldn't do. But a lot of the times it's just not like that. And I think it's onto the DHS workers to know, okay, well, this happened, you can no longer do this, and really find good people out there that really care. It's kind of hard to do.
It is. It really is. Wow. Is there anybody, I know you mentioned your mom. I won't call her foster mom because I don't like the title for my parents. So I know you mentioned your mom. Is there anybody else that you would like to speak about or give a thank you to that played a part in your success as a mom today, or a woman, or in your adulthood, growing up into your adulthood?
My mom was the biggest one
Okay.
of them all. But even though I have had, my ups and downs with family members or friends or whatever, I can sit here with all of my heart to say I'm thankful and I'm grateful for all the doors that have been open for me and my children. Me at one point when I was just pregnant, and needing a place to live, or a place to stay or whatever. Before I was blessed to be able to do this with the help of PHA and whatever else. I do want to thank all of my family members, my other sisters and brothers, and who have helped me and opened doors for me. My friends, in Connecticut, my family up there, as well, that took me out of the system. So it's still a big thank you for helping me. Just those little things for me matter, because you can only go by, one day at a time. That's how I do it. And
Yeah.
you got me to the next day. You know, you fed me, you put food on my plate. And I think that if it wasn't for all of you guys to do that, despite our ups and downs, you know, I don't know where I would be. So I'm still grateful and thankful for all that. So a lot of people have played a part on helping me be the best mother that I can be to my children, or you know, just making sure that I was okay, whether it was for 1 or 2 days or 3 days.
Yeah.
So I could say a lot of people, um, but the main person, God, because
Yeah.
He has carried me through all this pain and trials and tribulations, and you know, carried me through, you know, my addiction, and even today. You know,
Yes.
I still sit here and think like, how did I make it through with five
There must be a
children?
God.
You know, 5 kids. You know what I'm saying? And now, you know, working consistently now, and you know, things are just feeling like life. But yeah, it's a blessing.
Yes, it is. It is. That's how I know God is real. Because if we still
Yes,
here with these kids, like not
yes. I ain't half bald headed yet, or nobody hospital.
no gray hairs yet.
Right.
So lastly, I would love to know, is there anything that you do for yourself, for self-love, or just to take care of yourself, show yourself some grace, love, just what do you do for yourself on a daily?
I love to go get my nails and feet done, and stuff.
Yes.
So that's, you know what I'm saying?
That is part of self-love.
It does. That even if I'm still on the phone with the kids, you know, because they like, Mom, what we gonna eat for dinner, this and third. I'm just like, give me a second, but I love it. I love that right there to me, just to be able to make me feel okay, just a little bit better than what I did. Um, and to be honest, the biggest things, if I'm not doing anything, I love just watching Netflix. I like watch series of shows and just watch. That
Yes.
is relaxing and peaceful to me. That gets my mind to stop thinking for a little bit. And you know, that just to be able to peace and quiet for a little bit. And to be honest, that's all I really need. Other than that, I'm on mom mode. I'm on, you know, work. I'm with my kids. I'm on the phone making calls, doing all this. And it's okay, because for me that's what I like. Because let me tell you something. When the kids aren't here, I don't know what to do. I feel
Exactly.
lost. I feel absolutely lost. I feel like I don't know what to do. I'm bored, you know? So I love every minute of it.
Yeah.
Every minute of it.
No, I love that. I love that. I love to make sure that, because I'm big in self care and just taking even if it's just breathing,
Oh yeah.
just mindfully breathing, because we do it
Yeah.
every day and we forget to really like focus and just take a minute for yourself. I love it. So
Oh
yes, me too.
yeah.
They be like, you're not a girly girl. Like, my
Yeah.
man right now had asked me one day, he said, well, he was telling me that he likes a woman who is soft. And
Yeah.
I'm like confused. Like I'm thinking he talking about dressing up, putting on heels, looking fine, sexy. I'm like, first of all, I don't know what soft is because I haven't
Yeah.
been soft since
A
soft was a
long
thing.
time.
But
Right.
so I'm like, and I don't wear heels, I don't wear dresses. What do you want me to do? He was like,
Yeah.
no, soft is just me providing a safe space for you. And you just, being soft, not being the disciplinarian, not yelling,
Oh, I love
just calm. And I'm like, that's new to me. Like I've
that.
never
It
had
is.
that. And I was married for 17 years and I never had that. And so I'm like, well, can you teach me? Because that's something we don't really like. We're not vulnerable sometimes to say I don't know. And I don't know how to be soft. What do I? And
Yeah.
so he was like, well, why do you get your nails done if you're not a girly girl? I was like, because it's just peace. He was like, okay, so when you're getting your nails done, you're not yelling, you're not fussing, you're not doing nothing, you're just getting your nails done, right? I was like, yeah. He's like, well, so that's what I need you to do here. And I was like,
Yeah.
oh,
Oh.
okay. So now I know what soft is to him.
Yeah.
But yeah, we need to take care of ourselves. So I'm happy you're doing that.
I love that. And you know what? I need to learn how to be soft myself. I really
So
do.
we constantly fight. It's like, when do we stop fighting?
And I mean, I think that, being a parent and for the longest time having to play both sides, you know what I'm
Yep.
saying? So, like, I don't want my kids to be walking and running all over me or whatever, but the relationship is great. The other side, the laughing, the joking, the playing, things that maybe I wish I would have remembered, having growing up or whatever. But I mean, it's so good when your kid can just come and tell a joke or dance and, do all this funny stuff and they enjoying their childhood.
Yeah.
So, but we're going to work on being soft, though.
Listen, I need to, because it was new to me and I do like it. I do like being soft, but if we have tribe members that don't know how to be soft, ask your partner. If you have a partner, ask them what it looks like to them to be soft, because they might like a certain thing that'll give you a peace of mind and allow you to feel safe. And that's when you feel safe and you feel like, okay, everything is taken care of, everything's good, I don't have to do everything by myself. That's when you're able to invite being soft, accept it. Because like I said, you and I fighting throughout our lives, fighting to be accepted, fighting to do this, that, and the other, fighting as mothers, fighting, physically fighting. Even in being in relationships, there's constant fighting, or sometimes you feel like a single parent even in the relationship. So when do you be soft? If you never practice something, you guys, you're not going to improve in it. So practice it. Practice being soft. Go find somewhere to sit and breathe. Allow the person that you're with, if they're a safe person, to take over the children. If that's what they want to do, they want to provide that for you, allow them to. Have your boundaries set. Allow your kids to know that mommy's here if you need to talk, and I'm always going to protect you, and go about your business. But yeah, I'm gonna try to be more sophomore for real. But I am so happy. I want to thank you for sharing your story with me. Just to be able to listen to your story and to your testimony and to see the woman you are today, from where we came from, is amazing. So I wholeheartedly love you.
I love you.
Listen, I can't wait to come back because I still do sip. So
I can't wait for it either, girl. We was bumping in here,
Yes.
It was dumping. It was having a live. So
yes. So we will be back to your place, your city. But I love you, sis, and I greatly appreciate
I love you too. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you.
All right.
Talk to you later. I thank you guys for watching. This episode, this interview meant a lot to me, that my sister would come on here and share her story. I truly want her to know that I am proud of her. I'm proud of her persistence. I'm proud of her fight. I'm proud of the woman she is. I'm proud of the fact that she goes to work every day. I'm proud of the fact that she can admit who she was and move forward. I'm proud of the fact that she takes care of herself. I'm proud of the fact that she loves her children unconditionally. And even when they weren't with her, she still fought to be in their lives. I'm proud of her. I pray that you guys have a blessed day or night, depending on when you're watching this. And that you understand that you are loved. That you're worth being loved. That you're worth everything that happens to you that is good. That you do not deserve to be abused. You do not deserve to be neglected. You do not deserve anything bad that other people do to you. And if something is going on, I pray that you speak up until you're heard. Don't give up, because you are worth protecting. So until next time, be blessed.